Alright, boys and girls, so now we're going to give you a little review for everything that should be on your quiz, so you can all get hundreds. Yay! So the first things first, adding integers when we have the same signs. So, if signs are the same. Well, when they're the same, what you're going to do is ignore the sign at first. Then you're going to add the integers. And then, after you add the integers, what you're going to do is you are going to use the original signs in or with your answer. So, let's see what I'm talking about. Let's say we had, I don't know, -5 plus -2. Alright, so first thing we do is we're going to ignore the signs. So, I just see a 5 and a 2. Just look at those integers. Let's add them up. So, I've got 5 plus 2 in red. Ooh. 5 plus 2 equals 7. Yay! Now, what were the original signs? Negative. So, we're going to make this a -7, and that's our answer. What if we had, let's say, 3 plus 1? So, with this one right here, there's no sign written. If there's no sign written, just assume that it is positive. Same thing here, positive. So, I ignore those signs, and I have
just remember to check your mailboxes for your dress down day envelopes for tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Alrighty, I'll be sure to do that. So, 3 plus 1 equals 4. Now, the original signs were positive, so the answer is +4. And it's that easy. We'll do one more with the negatives because people tend to get scared with them. So, let's do -10 plus -2. So again, the integers here, if I ignore the signs, are 10 and 2. All I'm going to do is add them, and that equals 12. And the original signs were negative, so the answer is going to be -12. And it's just that easy. Now, when you have signs that are different, and I'm going to skip ahead to the shortcut method that we went over today, where you can just do it right in your head. We'll do a whole bunch of these. So, what you're going to do is you're going to see which one you have more of. So, if the signs are different, what you're going to do is you're going to see if it is, or if you have more negative or more positive. And whichever one you have, your answer is that. So, think of it like a battle, and your answer is the winner. So if you got more negative, your answer is going to be negative. You got more positive, your answer is going to be positive. And then what you're going to do is you are going to find the difference. So, let's take a look at what I'm talking about here. Slide this on up. Let's do -15 plus 3. So when I look at this, think of it like this. I got 15 negatives here, I got 3 positives here. Well, what do I have more of? Do I have more negatives or do I have more positives? Well, I got 15 negatives here and just 3 positives here. So the negatives win. Since I have more negatives, my answer is going to be negative. What's the difference between 15 and 3? Well, 15 minus 3 is going to be 12. So my answer is -12. Let's do another one. Let's do -5 plus 10. Well, do I have more negatives or more positives? I got 5 negatives here, I got 10 positives here, so I have more of the positives, so my answer is going to be positive. You can put a plus here if you want to. You don't have to. Stylistically, you probably shouldn't, because if you write a number alone, you normally don't put a plus in front of it. but you can. It's fine. It's acceptable. I'm not going to mark it wrong. So now the difference between 10 and 5, well, 10 minus 5 is 5. The answer is positive 5. Yay. So let's do a whole bunch more. Set up some problems and just talk ourselves right through it. Let's do 500 plus negative 100. I had somebody who was scared about that problem earlier, so I put that on there for you. Let's say we've got negative 8 plus 20, negative 2 plus 1, and we'll do a special one here, negative 23 plus 23. So, for this one right here, do I have more positives or more negatives? Way more positives. I got 500 of them, only 100 in the negatives. So, my answer is going to be positive. What's the difference between 500 and 100? 400. So the answer is positive 400. Right here, 8 negatives, 20 positives. So my answer, I got way more positives. My answer is going to be positive. Difference between 20 and 8, well, 20 minus 8 is 12. This one right here, 2 negatives, 1 positive. I don't have much more, but I have more negatives, so my answer is going to be negative. And 2 minus 1 is 1. All right. Now this last one was a little bit special. This right here, additive inverse. Add, additive, inverse, inverse meaning opposites. So, you got negative 23 and 23. Anytime you have the same integer, but you got the positive and the negative of it, you put it together and it becomes 0. Anytime. So, you can have negative 5 plus positive 5. You can have 3 plus negative 3. You can have negative 254 plus 254. And guess what? These are all going to equal 0. Alright, so let's get a little bit more complicated here. Let's say we got something like, I don't know, negative 3 plus 2 plus negative 1. Okay. If you had any additive inverse pairs, you would turn them into 0. But I'm not seeing any of these pairs here at all. So just take it one step at a time. Just start at the beginning. I like to box in what I'm working with. So here I got negative 3 plus 2. Well, do I got more negatives or more positive? More negative. So I know the answer to this one is going to be negative. What's the difference between 3 and 2? Well, 3 minus 2 is 1. So my answer to this stuff in the box is negative 1. But I'm not done. I got this other stuff here. So I'm just going to copy that down to bring it right down. All I did was I just moved this stuff down. So now, ooh, look at this. What's this? You're right, additive inverse. And what's the oh, no, it's not. Oops, tricked myself. I got negative 1 plus negative 1. All right, so this is one where I have the same signs. And how do we do the same sign ones? Well, let's look up here again. When the signs are the same, ignore the sign, add the integers, and use the original sign in your answer. So let's go back here. Signs are the same, so I'm going to ignore them. I'm going to add the integers. What's 1 plus 1? It's 2. And then I'm going to use the original signs in my answer, negative. Okay? All right. If you can do all this, you should have no problem doing really well on your quiz. So study up and remember what my friend Taylor always says, math is cool. Okay, good luck everybody. Hope you do well.